Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Figma, and this is Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid 2 Sense of Liberty version. Really cool. Actually looking forward into getting this figure. Really nice. And here's the box art. Really amazing. That's gonna be the orange box. Yes. Really nice. Top here, and it's the same as the bottom one here. Now, for those who are looking forward to this, I'm pretty sure some of you already know that you gotta get the exclusive. And it's one of those tough decisions. Should I go for the exclusive and pay a little bit more? Since I usually get my stuff from Ami and they usually discounted already. But for this guy, you have to go through a Good Smile, or the online Good Smile company's web store to get the exclusive. And inside, you're getting, except the orange box, well, aside from the orange box, you're also getting a new box, and this is with the label Figma. Really cool. And of course, his iconic weapon, the tactical Sockholm pistol. Now, question is it worth it? We'll see, because you are paying a little bit more. Anyways, let's take a look inside. Here we go. We have Solid Snake here, and the first thing I've noticed is actually this neck when you get it out of the packaging. I mean, aside from removing all the plastic, you just tear it off, which protects with the paint and the separation. Yeah, this neck here. What I will do is just kind of pop it in. There we go. And have them hunched a little bit, and that kind of fixes that look a lot better now. There is a little gap on the back, but you know, I can live with it. Alright, so that's that. And just going over the articulation and as well as details. Get a really nice eyes there. A little bit of shading on his face. Nicely sculpted hair. Really great. And you have his bandana here, which is actually in a ball joint. You can rotate this, but the first time I got it, it was kind of stuck there. So you might want to free that ball joint by holding it here and just kind of moving it side to side till you probably hear a little snap and basically getting that paint off it. But you can move that around. Then you have the neck. You already went over that part there. I don't think he looks up much except for that one, maybe when you have him crawling. So that might be a good way to have that. Then moving on, we have the shoulder here. It's the double jointed one. Then this reminds me of Captain America, where you have this fin on the back here. I'm not too fond of it. In terms of design, kind of wish they just kind of flatten this or just remove it. I don't know why they have that. It looks nice when he's standing up, but once you do this pose here, you got that weird looking cavity down there, or that hollow part. Moving on, yeah, pretty much for in terms of shoulder, yeah, it's really good. Then you have the elbow. And one thing I've noticed, I can't remember if they already used this. They might have, but this is more of a rounder joint. And usually Figma has that flattened joint. I can't remember which one's the last one, but that's here, which is great. This works out really well, especially for someone who's bulky, you know, more of a muscular guy. You really need that more rounder ball joints. And they're starting to do that with the female, what was the last one? Like Mutsu, and as well as Nagato. They're having that new, more rounder Figma joint, which is great. And you got the wrist joint here. There is no bicep swivel, other than there is a separate piece there, so you can kind of move it around. It's kind of like your swivel there on the shoulder. Moving down, you got this kind of like pouches here, or magazine, or I'm not sure. Yeah, you can probably put your magazines there. It's in a ball joint for both of them. it's right where his thing is. Some people might put a joke on that, but it's there. It's you can move it around, especially when he gets in the way. Then you have the mid torso articulation, as well as the waist, and there's no hindrance at all. It's great. Then you get these rubber things here, which is part of his whole waist. Yep. Then you have his holster for his either his tranquilizer or his SOCOM, but this one is fixed, and I don't think there's a separate piece to holster the other weapons. Which, in my opinion, you don't really need to have that gimmick. So just having this is fine with me. Then moving down, we have a swivel here on the legs. So that will come handy later on for more poses. Then he can move his legs sideways, up, and bend his knee. That's your regular Figma joint. That's great. And I think no, there's no swivel there. But you do have the Figma joint on the ankle, which gives you movement there, and you can move it to the side. And again, that's great for later on. You do have a toe joint here, which you can bend as well. This is great. So you can have him on the kneeling pose while he's talking to Otacon. Actually, I'm not sure if he still talks to him. Again, I'm not too familiar with I remember talking to him on the first one. He might be still. Yeah. You do the kneeling pose. And we already kind of do the crawling pose early on. And it's great. Now let's go over some of the accessories. Alright, next up are the hands. We have the closed fist, a pair of them. And you have this hand rack here. You have the one for just open hand here. For holding assortment of accessories. Then you have two trigger finger hands. One you have it on the trigger, the other one's outside. You can also use this to point the stuff out there. And on the left you have one for kind of like a support when it's holding the pistol or even the rifle. Other than that, you also have a pair of hands here, and this is to hold the cigs or the cigarette. And you do have 4 of them right here, and just judging by this, I think they're all the same. Just get 4 of them just in case you misplace one or you want them lying on the floor. And another hand gimmick they give you is this one, and basically you get a pair for holding the ledge, which we'll go over later on as well. And you also have an extra Figma wrist joint, which is great. Never know. You might break the wrist. And another part is, or another accessory or gimmick is this: separate the face. So this is when he's really angry. You got that gritty teeth right there. And to swap this out, we grabbed a snake here. We pop off the top part of his head. There we go. Move the face. So this face is also have that movable eyes, and you have a tool for that. I'm not gonna do that since it's kind of hard to realign it again, but you are able to move that. Wait, hold on. I think might have sometimes it's kind of hard to use this thing. There we go. It's too small. I think it would have worked if there's like a 10-inch figure, or for a 6-inch figure it's just too small. Anyways, we're gonna pop this or remove that, and this one does not come with movable eyes. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really fond of those movable eyes. I'm fine just having a different faceplate. And there we go, angry snake. Yep. Alright, and let's move on to his weapons. Actually, before we get to that part, let's go ahead and swap his hands here. So I'm gonna just pop the wrist, and so we'll probably use this one here and to cradle the handle and the other one. Put this on here. There we go. And this one, so the first pistol comes with this is the gun or the tranquilizer. It has a built-in, or it's already molded in silencer, and we're just gonna place it here, and hopefully we can get it in there. So the trick is you push it down in an angle before you slide in the finger for the trigger. There we go. And just have this. It's actually worked quite well, having that. There you go. Yep. So that's really cool. Let's take this out again. The other one, or another weapon, is the rifle. And sometimes getting this out is a little tricky. Right, so rifle over here has some nice details. Not sure if this is the M1, but probably is. I'm not too familiar with guns. If I'm playing one of those Call of Duty, might be more familiar with them. But it's been a while since I played first-person shooters. Or actually, or for that matter, I don't go to a firing range. It's not my hobby. This is I'm collecting figures. Yep. Right. So this is actually nice. Yep. And I believe if you do want to get other accessories for him, since it's close to 6-inch figure, might go with the 1/12 scale. Yep. And let's take this out. So basically that's it in terms of weapon on the regular Figma snake. Otherwise, I'll be showing in a bit the SOCOM, but if I can get this out. But before that, let me just show one more weapon. Let's see here. So I do have the SH Figure Arts Stormtrooper here. And just for scale, actually, might as well put it on now. So we can actually use the pistol. I mean, it's slightly loose, or the Stormtrooper's rifle, but you can make it work, especially when he's holding it. And just for size, it's about the same height, or a little taller, but that kind of works. So if you're curious, or if you want to have your snake wield one of the Stormtrooper weapons, you can. Alright, that's nice. And last but not the least, the SOCOM pistol. So here we go. The exclusive. Is it worth it? Well, we'll see. Put this on here. There we go. So basically has a, I believe there's a laser sight underneath. It's a pistol. And it does come with a silencer. A detachable silencer. So here, you can put this on here. I tried putting it on the rifle. It does not work. It's only for this pistol here. So there we go. Let's see what I'm trying to say here. Where'd the hand go? Is it worth it? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, if you really want to have this particular pistol to be, you know, just it's Solid Snake. You gotta have that pistol. It's iconic weapon. go for it. But in comparison with this other pistol here, it's almost the same. I kept dropping things off. Well, a little different, but it's still a pistol. And this is a shotgun. I mean, you could have live rounds too, so up to your imagination. And yeah, there you go. It's kind of actually hard to justify if you really want to go for that. But if you have the means, I would go for it. You know, why not? Yeah, you have more variety of weapons. Alright, so that's that. Let's see what else I got here. Actually, I think that might be it. And here's the other gimmick. Basically, he can hang on the ledge. Kind of interesting how they did this. So basically, he's hanging there. And actually, I just have a ruler across. And you have this clear plastic here with a little notch there for him to grip on. Put it on top here. And actually, the instruction says it has to be less than 1 centimeter, whatever a ledge. So it's kind of hard to find, you know, less than 1. Especially, I was looking. I was trying it on my bookshelf or my shelf for my display. It does not work. It's too long. I think. Well, actually, let's take a closer look on this one. Alright, so here's the instruction and saying 1 centimeter. And I think it's to clear or give a space for the sleeves. And it's a matter of also about balancing. So I have it on this configuration. Basically, I kind of move out his shoulder as much as I can. His elbows on the side. Although I think it wouldn't matter if you have him, you know, this way too. But I think it's better this way since he's going to be doing a lateral move. And swap out the hands. That's pretty much it. It's an interesting concept that they've added. And as you can see there, yeah, if you have a little bit longer, he's tend to push this way and drop off. So you do have to have that 1 centimeter clearance, which is not much. Unless you have a really clear... That's probably one of those glass shells will do. Alright. Alright, and here's him with his Revoltech Mini. Although I don't have the regular Revoltech version of Snake. I'm not sure if they made one for a Metal Gear Solid 2 version. It's possible they might have, but I'm not. It's just I'm not too fond of Revoltech joints. But for the Mini, which has a smoother transition on joints, I don't mind it. I actually like them. It also does come with a base, and typically for this configuration, I usually flip this around, and I'm just gonna insert it here. The reason being for that is if you have it on the other way, it doesn't have enough bend for you to position him, so you gotta flip it around. There you go. Actually, he doesn't have much problem standing by himself, but it's always good to have a secure place or base for him. So there we go. And I think the joint is pointing upward for some weird reason. Yeah, because let's see. If you have in this configuration, yeah, that's. I just want to make that point why I'm flipping this over, because of that. Anyways, there we go. Having too much fun with the base. Alright, we got the orange box here. It's basically what it is, a cardboard box printed, and it's pre-cut for you. You just have to pull it in and apply the glue. I kind of wish they've added slits so it kind of holds together itself without applying glue, but I guess if you do that, it doesn't. It gives away the illusion that it is an actual scale box. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and glue it in place. I might just store this, and yeah, I'm probably not gonna use it, but it's a nice thing. You put it on top of Snake, and basically the soldiers doesn't know he's even there. A great way to camouflage. Alright. And there's this muzzle fire gimmick, which I almost forgot. So unfortunately, I tried it putting on the pistol, the tranquilizer gun. Does not work. It only works for the rifle, which I should have probably displayed while he's holding it, but there you go. Maybe putting a little bit of blue tack might help. Let me try that. Yeah, I'm not even sure if it's gonna work, but then again, this is a big muzzle fire, and it doesn't seems to make sense to have this on a pistol. Where is that pistol? Here, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, let's remove the silencer. So I'm gonna put a little bit of blue tack, saturate quite a bit, but yeah, that kind of works, but that's a little too much, you know. Burst fire. Yeah, I guess that works. And that pretty much wraps up the review for Figma Snake. It's a great figure, comes with a lot of accessories, and fairly good articulation. I really like it. Although there seems like there's something missing with it. I mean, even though you already got a lot of this stuff. Plus you have that cool ledge gimmick, although you'd have that 1 centimeter clearance needed. I think what's missing is the figures to go along with this. And if you're like the one who likes Super Smash Brothers, you're probably gonna have Figma Link and Samus to go along with this in terms of them fighting. But it feels like we need soldiers. Maybe there's a couple of 112 scale soldiers out there. I mean, you have the Star Wars Black Series or the SH figure arts. That could work too. But you gotta have that Soviet soldiers. They are making one for the Revolt meeting. I cannot wait to get that one, but it'll be great if they have something for Figma as well, or even making Grey Fox or one of those iconic antagonists for Snake. That'll be cool. Who knows? Maybe they'll make it in the future. Alright, that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's about it for the review. So until then, this is Pete. Thanks for watching.